10 years ago, I was in hospital with a couple of broken ribs, a ruptured spleen, and a 25% chance of living. If you'd have asked me then what my chances were of taking part in a 24-hour race in the future, I'd have probably said, yeah, there's not much chance of that, mate. Nah.
I do them for the adventure. I do them for the excitement and pushing my body. When you've got 4 kids and life is busy, and sometimes it's hard to find the stillness in all of that.
It's like basic survival in a sense. So all that other stuff of life that ultimately seems to mean very little when you really think about it, kind of just dissipates, and you, I guess, are in the moment, and it's a bit of that flow state, and that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, so this is like pretty simple setup. It's all the cross.
Yeah.
It's a 2-man.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, nice thing.
Do you know where the registration desk is?
Go slow, bud.
I don't need
Low trend in case I get cramps.
It's like an actual, like, standing here, smiles on our faces.
Get a picture or video?
Yeah, a picture. Just like a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I don't know how to take pictures.
As an excuse. I can't go.
That is hilarious.
It's therapy, really, to be under the blue skies or even in the dark, but breathing the fresh air and just being so present in your body in the way that you have to be when endurance crosses over into ultra endurance. And I love it, and sometimes I hate it, and I'm a little addicted to it, and it definitely gives me that feeling, that spirit of adventure that I used to get from travel or meeting new people or changing jobs, or just the excitement of maybe a single life, or a life that went before I was a mom. And now I get a lot of that through endurance training.
So there seems to be this theme that my favorite days always end up being the days where I'm running all day. So sometimes I think nothing much is really working in my life other than running. I figured it's supposed to be pretty obvious what you want to do with your life way before you get to age 50. And it doesn't seem to be the case for me. So a lot of things seem to be neutral at best or stagnating, and running is something that is new and interesting and exciting and I don't need help motivating myself for. So that's what's working. I'm just trying to do as much of what works as possible while I try to figure out the rest of the puzzle, I guess.
I find that endurance races, well, first and foremost, it's a great opportunity to mix with like-minded people, the people who are my teammates in this case, and the people I'm going to meet on the racetrack. They're generally decent, generous, really nice people to be around, and that's great. The endurance race also gives me an opportunity to live in the moment constantly. I mean, constantly thinking about what my body needs, about where I'm putting my feet, about where I'm putting my eyes, about what my senses are doing, because that's going to relate to if I'm fat burning or sugar burning, and it's really interesting. And then after about 20 hours you pass into a different dimension even. I remember in one 24-hour race I was running, and people, some bystanders were talking to me and they were shouting encouragement, and I was just firmly thinking, why on earth are they speaking to me in English? There's no reason for them to be using English. It seems such an archaic means of communication. It was almost like I'd gone past language. It was like, why don't we just think to each other? It really felt like we were capable of doing that. It's pretty fantastic, really. So yeah, perhaps I was just tired, but it was great. It was great to have that firm belief and feeling.
Keep pushing,
Yeah.
and do your best, because you can't tell what anyone else is going to do, so you just got to keep yourself in the game. And then at least at the end you're spent and you did your best, because there's nothing worse than finishing 10 minutes later thinking, wow, I could have done more. I'm not going to finish like that. I'm going to be on my knees.
Alright, so here we are. We've spent, me and the crew have spent a long night battling skunks who like to eat nacho chips and Oreos, and I finished a little over 12 hours ago, and I was completely blown away by all these people doing the 24-hour race. Just to see them still going, and I mean, a lot of them were lapping me. In my 12-hour race, I was getting lapped by a lot of these runners. And to go back and try to get some sleep and fail at it, and then get an hour's sleep, and then get up and limp around, and then get another hour's sleep, and there's still 3 hours by the time I got up for them to finish. So our team was awesome.
This morning and got my medal. Would have been nice to go over the 100K, but I'm happy with what I did. I know that I've got to go home and look after my kids, and my husband's going away to California this week, so I've got a lot on my plate. So I think, considering all that, I left everything I could on the course today.
I know you want some words of wisdom, but I really can't think of anything because my mind's a blank. I'm fairly exhausted, as one would expect, and I just can't think of anything. I've been boring you all day and night with my thoughts, and it's just all used up and gone.
To watch Dave just get it out, and unfortunately he's not a Canadian citizen, so he can't be the Canadian champion, but he would have been the Canadian 24-hour champion had he had a different passport, I guess. So
It was a great event, and I just was honored to be part of the team and just to be part of the, just part of this whole scene. I think I think ultras are really cool.
I'm a little hobbled and can really use some coffee, and I'm not saying anything else until I get some coffee and some vegan donuts. Go vegan.
Nicely done, Tim. Beautiful. Epic.